Welcome to Real Talk with Ruby, where I answer your questions about healing, relationships, love, and life. Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Me and my puffy sleeves welcome you today. So I have a friend who really doesn't like this top of mine, so he thinks that my sleeves are too puffy, and I thought, why don't I just wear this on purpose to, you know, piss him off a little. So Sunny, if you're watching this video, I hope you like my outfit. So I'm having an absolutely wonderful time filming these videos for you all, and I find this so much fun, but I feel like there's a lot of information that I'm still not able to get out to you, and that is in relation to personal problems that you're experiencing in your life. And so many of you send me emails, so many of you send me, you know, direct messages on Instagram where you have particular personal issues that you would love to get some advice on. So I decided to introduce a new segment on my channel, which is called Real Talk with Ruby. And this segment is specifically for me to answer all the questions that you have in relation to your particular situation. So I spoke to all of you, whoever sent me your personal problems, and I you know, got the confirmation, and I said I'm going to discuss your problem on my channel and I will make you anonymous, but I will answer your question on here, and you were all fine with it. So I'm going to read out a couple of stories today of personal life issues that some of you are experiencing, and I'm going to give you my response on what I think that you should do, can do, or should think about. I'm also going to use my book Dear Self as a guide and as a reference, because this book it's my life. I absolutely love it. This is the new cover. I don't know if you guys have seen this cover, but it's so beautiful. And I've got so much useful advice in this book. So I'm going to refer to this book as I'm answering your questions, as I'm discussing your stories. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first story that I'm going to share is about a particular relationship between two people. This particular individual, when she came up to me and she told me her story, I thought it would be very important to discuss it on my channel with you all, so you can understand boundaries, so you can understand the importance of honesty and the importance of having these discussions with your partner. So I'm going to read out this particular case. I'm in a relationship. I've got a fiance at the moment, and I didn't tell him about my past relationship. My past relationship lasted for 7 years, and I didn't tell my fiance until 3 months ago that I was in a 7-year relationship before him. Now he's so insecure, and he keeps taunting and comparing whatever I do today to whatever I did in the past. If I behave in a certain way and if I react in a certain way, he says that you've probably behaved like this before in your previous relationship. You've probably reacted like this before in your previous relationship. If I use the word baby, he says, you used to call him baby, so don't call me baby. I find his behavior psychotic, even though I know that he loves me a lot. He says that I have cheated him by not telling him the truth. He starts making comments, making snide comments, and he makes stories in his mind, and he starts shouting at me. He's not trying to understand the situation. I'm always available for him. Even sometimes when he's not in a good mood, I am still available for him. I don't go to sleep until he does. I am loyal to him, but what do I do to prove this particular truth? Okay, so I'm going to name this particular individual Anna, okay? So Anna has this personal issue where she was in a relationship for 7 years with someone else, and she's now engaged, and she's not told her fiance about this relationship. Last week, in my previous video, I think it was last week or the week before, I discussed honesty, and it was a video about the worst relationship advice, and one of it was honesty. And in that, I was a bit double-minded. I said, okay, you know what, honesty in all cases isn't important, such as, you know, if you don't like the dinner they made, just eat it, be nice to them. If you don't like, say their mother, you know, isn't too nice, and you know that they really care about their mother, but it's not an issue where you need to kick their mother out. You just don't get along with her. You don't need to tell him, you know. Maybe it will make him really upset if you tell him that you don't like his mother, even though in the grand scheme of things, everyone's getting along just fine. It's just your personal issues which you can resolve directly with her. Things like that. And I also mentioned that if you had past relationships, maybe your partner doesn't want to know what you got up to in those past relationships. I know I wouldn't want to. I would be fine with finding out that my partner was in relationships, but I would not want to know the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies. Don't need to know that. Now, this particular situation does not fall in that. It does not fall in the you shouldn't be honest section. You made a mistake, and you have to own up to that mistake. You made a mistake by not telling your partner you were in a relationship for 7 years. Honesty is the foundation of relationships. And as much as, you know, I say that you need to bite your tongue in certain matters, overall, a relationship is based and grounded on being honest about the things that matter the most, and telling your partner that you were in a relationship before them, a 7-year relationship before them, is crucial, is pivotal to forming the foundation of that relationship. Right now, you're in a place where that foundation has completely shaken and your partner no longer trusts you. And it's been 3 months since you've told him, and he doesn't trust you. And he may be acting, you know, crazy and psychotic, whatever words you want to use, but he's trying to heal from the truth that you hid something so important from him. He's trying to heal from the hurt. He's trying to heal from the pain, because when your trust is broken, when your trust in someone that you love so much is broken, it is very, very hard to trust them again. So I know that, you know, you say that you're loyal to him. I'm certain that you are. You haven't cheated on him or anything. You know, that relationship was in the past. However, I don't think that he will be okay with it straight away. I really do think that you need to give him time in order to be able to come to terms with how he feels about this whole situation. You need to give him time to be able to heal, and you need to be as patient as you can for him to be okay with knowing that you hid something so crucial from him. And patience in this matter is key. I think you need to make sure that you are very, very patient. The thing with trust is it takes so long to build up, but it takes an instant to break. And once it's broken, it takes a long time for it to be okay again. So just hang in there. You know, if you love this person, you've made a mistake, you're human, it's okay, but hang in there, and hopefully one day they do realize that, you know, you love them so much and you can be trusted, and this was just a one-off. So the next issue that I have is from a gentleman, and he wants to know about relationships and whether he thinks he's ready for one or not. So this is the question, and this person is called Ben. Okay. Today I was thinking about how you can be selfless and care for others, as well as focus on your dreams and have big dreams. I realised that despite the fact that I want to be in a relationship, I want to take care of someone and myself at the same time, but it ends up distracting me from my goals. When I'm in a relationship, I put a lot of effort to care for the other person, but I find that it takes its toll on me, and I can't focus on what I want to do in terms of my goals. I also have trust issues. So I've been traumatized for the last 12 years because I have, you know, been in relationships that haven't worked out. Either they cheated on me, or they lied to me, or they pretended to be someone who they weren't. How do I learn to trust someone again? It's not easy being selfless and not being scared. Okay, so the one thing that I'd like to say to Ben on this particular occasion is it is quite hard to be completely selfless and then put yourself first as well. But it's not impossible, and it's something that we have been trained to do. We are social beings. Human beings are made to live in packs, to live in groups, to be able to survive together. So we are made to connect with other people. We are made to have relationships. We are made to love people. But we're also made with a survival instinct to take care of ourselves as well, to prioritize ourselves and to make sure that we make it and we survive. Essentially, survival of the fittest. So how do we create a connection between wanting to care about others and also prioritizing what we need to do and what we want? I discussed this in my book, Dear Self, where I spoke about when it's right to put other people first and when it's right to put yourself first and where those boundaries lie. So I'm going to read a snippet from that to kind of discuss this further. So in this section, in Dear Self, I talk about drawing the line between self-love and selfishness and drawing the line between self-rejection and selflessness. So essentially the question is, when is it okay to put yourself first? And when is it okay to put other people first? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to understand our responsibility to others. So when you care about someone and you engage in a relationship with them, whether it's romantic, a friendship or familial, you have responsibility to be there for them and to take care of them as much as your physical and mental capacities allow you to. When you allow those who care about you the relevant love and care that they're entitled to, you're acting in opposition to selflessness. So in order to embrace your humanity, you need to learn to put others first on many occasions, even if it's at odds with what you want. Now, remember this, what you want, okay? What you want is very different to what you need and deserve. If putting others before you contravenes with what you need and deserve, you should stop. For example, on one occasion, your friend asks you to go to a restaurant. It's somewhere that they've always wanted to go and they can't imagine sharing that experience with anyone but you, and you say yes. Now, if on that day you were to fall terribly ill and needed rest, then self-love requires you to tell your friend that you're not feeling okay, so you'd like to reschedule. Now, this falls in line with both self-love and your responsibility of care towards your friend. But if the restaurant date with your friend arrives and you suddenly want to go to a cafe with another friend because you're craving pancakes, you have a duty of care towards your first friend. On this occasion, it would be selfish for you to cancel on them and have pancakes with someone else. By denying those who care about you and whom you have a responsibility towards the love and care that they're entitled to, you're acting in opposition to selflessness. So in order to embrace your humanity, you need to operate with a certain level of selflessness. Essentially, what I'm trying to say in this whole chapter is that you should put other people first to an extent, as long as it doesn't contravene with what you deserve and what your needs are and what your emotional and physical well-being requires of you. If it's in opposition with what you want, then your responsibility to others is higher than that. Now, so many people maintain relationships while they're chasing their dreams. So many people have partners while they're struggling to find a job, get into a job, pursue that job. You have to learn balance. It's so important, because right now, if you're struggling with, your relationship and your goals, in the future, you'll have your goals and you'll have kids. And someone who is truly able to, excel in that is someone who's able to balance those things together. You should learn the art of balancing. You should learn how to balance your personal life and your professional life. Only then will you be able to excel and succeed in everything. Don't sacrifice one on the basis of another. Don't think you need to sacrifice your personal life just because you want to focus on your professional. Don't think you need to sacrifice on your professional life just because you need to focus on your personal. Please maintain some sort of balance. It is so important to have boundaries. It's so important to think about what you deserve and what they deserve and meet halfway. Now, in terms of trust, okay, so with trusting people after you've been through trauma and after you've experienced things that hurt you a lot, it's very hard to just trust people instantly. It's very hard to say to yourself, okay, this particular person cares about me. I'm just going to put this, burden of trust and give it to them. You can't do that, okay? People need to earn your trust. People need to be able to prove to you that they're worthy of your trust. People need to be able to care about you enough for you to actually put that responsibility on them. So it's not on you to trust them. It's on them to make you trust them, okay? So it's on them to earn your trust. Once they're able to earn your trust, it will be very, very easy to trust them. So don't worry too much about trusting people. Worry about meeting the right person who can earn your trust. So for this final section of Real Talk with Ruby, I'm going to answer a couple of questions that you guys put on my Instagram stories. So I asked you a couple of days ago whether you had any particular personal issues or questions that you had for me that you'd like me to answer in my YouTube video, and I got so many, oh my god, I got so many questions. So I'm going to scroll through and see what I can answer and how best I can answer it, and that'll be the final section of this wonderful segment. I have an ex that I can't get over. We broke up a couple of months ago and I'm not able to move on yet. Okay, so you have an ex and you broke up a couple of months ago and you are worrying why you are not able to get over them. Depending on how much you loved them and how much you cared about them, I don't think it's going to be possible for you to get over them within months. Unfortunately, it will take a lot longer than that. Getting over people that you care about and people that you dated it's not something that can happen in an instant. It's not something that can happen in a jiffy. So you need to be patient with yourself. In my book, Dear Self, I talk about breakups and I talk about the denial stage of breakups and the different stages of breakups, essentially. And it takes a long time. The first thing that you're going to go through is denial. You're going to want them back. The second thing that you're going to go through is going to be acceptance. Then you're going to come to terms with it in terms of your emotions. And then you're going to tell yourself, okay, now's the time for me to accept that they moved on and fill my time with other things. So it's all a process. It will take some time. So the next question is, my dad doesn't accept me for who I am and it really gets to me. I'm so sorry that your dad doesn't get you for who you are. I feel like, you know, parents are such important individuals in our lives. Their role is so invaluable that accepting their love and support and being validated by them contributes so much to our self-worth and to our self-esteem. And when they are unable to understand where we're coming from, when they are unable to accept what we want and how we feel about certain situations and what our goals and dreams are, essentially, it gets really hard for us to actually have belief and faith in ourselves. And I'm really sorry that you're experiencing this. I'm really sorry that your dad doesn't understand. But I think if you haven't tried yet, then try to make him understand. I know that it shouldn't be on you to convince other people to accept your goals, accept you and accept your views, but when it comes to parents, there is a humongous generation gap, and there is also a gap in terms of the fact that they have brought you up, they brought you into this world, so the way they see things is very, very different to the way that you see things. Maybe you're still a kid for them, maybe they still think that you need them and their, you know, advice and support in different aspects in your life, so you need to prove to them that you can do this on your own, whatever it is that you want to do, and you need to sit them down and have conversations with them, work on building your relationship with them and see how that works out. I have one more which I'm going to answer, and then I'll do some more in a couple of weeks. Someone enters your life unexpectedly, they make you feel special, they indicate that they like you, but then they keep changing. Okay, so I did a video on this, I think it was one of the first videos that I did, where I discussed the difference between someone who actually likes you and someone who's just wasting your time. And often we want to read messages, often we want to read between the lines and, you know, think that they like us just because they're acting in a certain way. And that's not the case. They don't like us, they're just being nice, or they don't like us and they're just playing around. They don't like us, they're talking to many girls or many guys. And it's very hard for us to accept and, you know, tell ourselves that this person doesn't like me, even though they've treated me a certain way, because for them their behavior could not have indicated anything. For them their behavior could have just been that they're treating you as a friend, or maybe they are just flirtatious and, you know, they like flirting with lots of people. So talk to them, ask them, because if someone likes you, they will tell you. It's that simple. If someone likes you, they will tell you. Well, you will not have to figure it out. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talk with Ruby. I hope you had a good time. I also realized that throughout this video, I was looking at myself rather than at the lens once more. I am so sorry. I got a camera recently and I'm trying to figure out the ins and outs of it and so on. Also, I don't know if you guys realized, but I finally got my eyebrows done. Like, can you believe it? I finally managed to get my eyebrows done. The state of my eyebrows was absolutely horrendous during lockdown. I don't know what was going on. I had like a unibrow going, I had like caterpillar eyebrows. Self-love, Ruby, self-love. Yeah, so I'm so excited that my eyebrows are like looking good. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to Real Talk with Ruby. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. Please share, and I will see you all next week.